All right, Larsis, what's our focus for this round?
We've been focusing a lot on the beginning of the timeline. Let's go towards the end of it. I think the Great Exodus is a good focus.
All right, so anything relating to the Great Exodus. So just so everyone's clear, that doesn't necessarily have to require that the things you add are in the Great Exodus, so long as they somehow lead to or from the Great Exodus. Just because the Great Exodus is at the end of the timeline now doesn't mean things might come after it, might not come after it, or even before it. So it just has to relate to that somehow. So what are you going to add first? Just as a refresher for everyone who may have forgotten, the focus can add two things as long as one is nested inside the other.
Oh, damn.
You don't have to, but you can if you choose.
Yeah. Well, the problem is the problem is that I can't remember how to do the thing I'm doing right now. There we go. The problem is that the period already exists, so I'm gonna have to probably go with an event here.
Yes, you could add an event and then even a scene inside the event if you so wished.
And I'm gonna add a dark event actually.
All right.
Which is Phony Kind's steps from their system. Actually, would it be Ponykind or Mankind? That's a good question. Star, what's the distinction on that?
Earthkind.
Earthkind.
I don't know that there is. Yeah, I don't know that there is a distinction.
I'm gonna do.
Yeah, yeah. So if it is, I mean, it's sort of like a circle and square deal. Like Ponykind could just mean that it because the population is mainly them anyway. So. Yeah. Although people are moving to not use that term as much these days. Man. Where's a good sprocket when you need one?
Tampering. There, that works.
In the Jetsons.
I don't know what to put inside of that, so I think I'm going to end it right there.
All right. Let's see. Turn order is Phoebe's
No scene
next.
of political hampering.
Yeah. Yeah. Basically, not everyone wants to go, but they feel like they're pressured into doing it.
So we have a lot that could be taken many ways. Like with just what you're writing, there could be whole groups like forcing people. Like, oh, guess what? We needed 50,000 colonists. You're it. But that depends on how we interpret it. So we'll have to see what VB adds since it's his turn.
Yes.
I'm up for a moment to see you guys
now. We said we stole all your lunch meat and cheese.
Also, it's your turn. Where the focus is the Great Exodus. Yeah, you may have to re-add your saved shapes on your turn.
It looks like the Ascension Initiative is going to spread them out even more. Doesn't that go against one of the?
Yeah, we can't add aliens. They could be like. I guess they could be. Yeah, primitive would be aliens. They would have to be animals of some kind. Yeah, like I wouldn't disallow like finding an amoeba, but one of the.
Wait, we've already done that.
Yeah, so it means alien intelligence at all. Because, yeah. Because I didn't want it to take away from, like, the whole universe is kind of already about alien intelligence, so I didn't want to muddy the waters. Like terraforming.
The Alotha suddenly appears.
Like between galaxies? No, I suppose not, though. I'd love to hear your idea of how they make that work, but no, there's no reason that's disallowed. Like, I'd love to know the name, whatever, like, the name or description of the technology they're using to travel those distances. Then just give it a spacey sounding name. Andromeda.
There's multiple initiatives.
It's happening again.
There's so many initiatives.
It's okay. They'll be canceled by BioWare after their first mission.
Wait, makes contact with the Milky Way. Wait, they're gonna make it there before all intelligent life on Earth is gone?
Maybe they
Yes, they
found
are.
maybe they found a wormhole.
Mhm.
Yeah, they found a big ring, lights up, spins around, then it flushes sideways.
I just hope that no Mary Sue-esque female characters come out of it that are good at everything and better at every skill than every male character on their team, who then later go on to lead Atlantis for some reason.
For a season until they have to go
For
back
one
for the next
season,
movie.
yeah. And make me really miss the last director of Atlantis, who I thought was fine for the job, but whatever.
Sorry about that. That had to be done, though.
She's on a new show now.
She is? Is she leading Atlantis again?
Weir is on a new show. No, she's...
When you said it out loud, I thought you said Noah Stoy, and it's just, okay, so the Not Here Project? Ah.
Well, while you're changing the name, I'm going to give myself the things back because it's my turn. And I am going to add a light event, just because I don't really think it is light or dark, but I'm calling it light because it's my turn and I get to decide. And it is, it's going to go in the previous period, and it's going to be sea ponies positively dominate the space race. So for some technological reason, they're the ones who just colonize the solar system.
Well, if you think about it,
I can't imagine why it would be they would be the ones, but we know they're the ones now.
Honestly, I can think about it because they would have the space
Hold
under
on.
the sea to develop that sort of thing, and also, Water isn't that bad of a medium for canceling out movement.
Hold on. Didn't humans beat them?
Well, yes, but this doesn't erase humanity's progress in the past. It's not like the Apollo missions disappear
No,
or
no, no.
Athena,
I mean,
Athena gets
even
killed.
in this timeline, like, HPI...
The HPI are gone. This is the space race on Earth in the solar system. Yeah, they're gone in the timeline by now. They were long gone. The Wayfinder ships left like before the rule of the Enduring Ones. Oh, and the connection to the Great Exodus is that even many, many years later, when the Great Exodus happens, they still are sort of like their stations and stuff are where all the best ships and stuff are made, and so like some of the first colony ships that are sent out are by them.
You know,
So
that reminds
they
me.
they leave a
Yeah.
lasting footprint.
That reminds me of a game called
Sea ponies in
Beyond.
space.
No, it's shit. I think it's like Beyond Space. And the amoebas automatically start with the best ships and have the map of everything. The entire map's revealed to them at the start.
Well, in interest of time, we should just let Lifelox go because it's his turn.
I'm looking for a name of something. Is anyone else got to go before me really quick?
The only one left this round is Bidterra, so
Just
unless
put
he
in what
has
you're
something.
gonna put and put in the name afterwards.
Yeah. All right. No, I'll go with How do I want to describe that event?
Was it a light or dark event, and where does it go?
It would technically go on the Great Exodus if I wanted to describe it there. That's what I was trying to name. I was trying to give it a project name and throw it somewhere else. But
Is it? But there's not really an appropriate period besides the
Yeah.
Great Exodus.
So it's like,
You could make the period that it would later go in, but
yeah, that can't be done with this focus.
well, what do I put?
And this is just full of. It could go either way depending on how you look at it.
Well, decide. You decide if it's light or dark.
Light event on inside the Great Exodus.
Okay, so where in the Great Exodus? It could go anywhere between these events or at the end, or
I'm gonna say, let's see here. They were probably working on it, but
also, I don't know if you guys agree, but I think the Ascension Initiative thing card should be at the bottom.
I feel like it'd be before the Andromeda one, though.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, where does your light event go, Light Fox?
it goes after the Earthkind's first steps into the solar system, where found sabotage and political hampering, but not. Yeah, right there, perfect.
Okay, and what is it? What does it say?
The hell is that name?
Who cares? We can change the name. Why don't you tell us about the event?
Screw it. Well, let's just do the event. How'd you guys pronounce that? Thestral?
Thestral.
Oh, Thestralia?
Thestralia. Let's go with that name.
Not a real name. It's just
Thestralia what?
I'm wording it, Star. Give me a minute. Dear God.
Well, it's like 6 minutes in. Come on, man.
It's not easy.
And whoever's next, please be thinking of your turn so we don't have to wait on you.
Yeah.
I'm sure trying, but
But like Light Fox should have done.
I was thinking this entire time, Star. It's gotta This isn't like super improv night.
We haven't switched.
We haven't.
It's more that
Yeah.
we almost switched at the end of last time, but didn't.
Yeah, so after Light Fox, then it'll be Kirby, and then it'll be Larsis, who will wrap up the round, and then you will start the next round.
Fine, well, let's go dramatic with it. Suddenly disappears, only leaving certain ruined and empty cities.
Okay, so when you say it disappears, you mean the people, right? Not the
People
continent of
and-
Australia.
No, not the continent, no, but some of their cities, except for a lot of the smaller outlying ones, though left abandoned, are gone.
Should this be a dark? I think this should be a dark event then.
I know what it is. So
Well, yeah, but from the perspective of the world, the universe as a whole, if they're gone forever, then
I think you mentioned the plan last time.
I did. It was when I actually tried. It was what I was trying to do for the Great Exodus, and now people leave. Mm-hmm.
all right. Australia is rendered. I still think this should be a dark event, but
If you want to leave it dark, go for it.
because like even knowing like, oh yeah, they didn't really die or whatever, but still like from the
To the rest of
perspective of the universe,
To the rest
an
of them,
entire
it's like,
country
what
just
the hell
disappeared.
just happened?
This is like the removal of the dwarves in the Skyrim, like Elder Scrolls sitting. Their entire civilization is just gone, leaving only ruins. That's a dark event, I think. And now we're back to Larsis.
No, to be fair, the dwarves were assholes.
my
So
turn.
the world wasn't better.
Oh
off.
right, yeah, it's Batera's turn. Sorry.
Yeah, I was about to say.
It's such a big deal out of it.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Man, I don't want to just add an obvious thing.
Add what you want to add. Add what you want to add.
Just go for it. That's what I'm doing for now.
Whatever
I'm
it
just
is.
gonna go for it.
Yeah, you should.
Fuck it.
It's not a go for it thing. It's like I'm going to state this fact about the universe that everyone already knows.
That's why
That's
you gotta
my
go
idea.
for it.
Well, if you don't have any other ideas, just do it.
Oh, the only other thing I'd want to do is make a scene for the Sea Pony's first flight.
You could. You just, if you were, you'd need to think of the question that was being answered.
The question is, how did the sea ponies become the strongest space flight? Isn't that a good question?
Maybe. That's a really vague question, though, and it might have like a complicated
So,
answer.
all right.
Yeah, that's like how did the U.S. beat the Soviets to the moon? That's not a question you can answer in 5 seconds.
I have a.
Okay, what is your idea?
I'm not sure. The thing is, I'm not sure if this violates the ban or not.
Well, ask it.
What if, after getting out into space, starting to seed the galaxy with life, can there be ruins of former intelligent races?
Yes, there could be ruins.
Okay, that's gonna be my event then.
Ooh, spicy. Cool.
They cannot, however, have weird hexagon technology that never gets resolved at the end of the story.
What the hell is that? What's that reference?
We're the Andromeda Initiative. Some more.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Spoilers, it's an unsatisfying story at the end.
Yeah, it really kind of is. I finally finished it. I'm like, damn, I wish they were making a sequel to finish up the 9 or 10 major plot holes that this universe introduced.
I mean, like, you beat the big bad, great, but that's not really what this story was about to begin with. Can we have that instead?
No, because we suck at this making this whole game thing.
Well, they give their most valuable IP to their smallest, least experienced studio and give them such a small budget they have to outsource the animation to another studio. What do they expect is going to happen? Oh, and
man,
they give them less than a year to do most of their development. Like,
That was
come on.
yeah.
Come on.
Yeah,
it
I
was
was,
still garbage though. And you know what? I don't hate the studio for that. I hate
No.
EA and BioWare for making those really poor decisions.
Okay,
So, yeah.
so you okay. That's so sad that they all died.
I mean, it was mentioned in
Yeah.
the first story.
I know. That's that Luna couldn't help them and she wanted to.
Who, what now?
That there were other civilizations in the galaxy, but Luna couldn't help them because they were so
Oh,
far
yeah.
away.
Oh man, I'm just picturing, because one of the things in the palette that says we should definitely include is more equestrian stuff. What if never it's my turn again, isn't it?
Yes.
It is. I was about
it
to
is.
say, do what you want.
Yeah, whatever you want to do. You have the
Uh,
power to add one more thing to this page.
To the page. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to do. This is when Equestria comes back in, because you said it was going to be tens of thousands of years, right?
Well, there's one at 6,000, and there could be others later on.
Yeah, no, they get closer after the second time, and from what I understand.
It's also possible that when you get to these levels of technology, that the distance is no longer relevant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause if we know that an entire country, for some reason, decided to leave the universe, so if
It's not for some reason. We're trying to outrun Ruin.
if that's good luck, entropy exists everywhere, or time couldn't exist. You'll never outrun ruin.
No. That's not what I'm actually doing.
That is a dark event because of what I'll do to you if you put it on my time.
Nice. I like that. You don't have to make it not work. You just have to jump to a new universe before the one that you're in dies.
Oh, well, you're not. I mean,
You're outrunning Ruin.
This isn't that far into the future, though. Like,
I know.
Earth is still livable. You don't need to leave yet.
No, you don't. But you still need it. You should still test it.
With your entire civilization, in case things go bad. But this is a side point.
And they don't have to leave the whole universe. They probably just left the planet. Yeah.
Honestly, the sun is probably not going to die that long because we'll be so advanced that we'll probably want to keep the system running.
I wouldn't have left if Star didn't make it mandatory. So there you go.
Yes, entropy is mandatory.
No, not that.
You mandated that everyone is off Earth.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
He mandated. I fucking had to make something.
But that could be millions of years in the future for all we know. We have no idea when that story happens.
Yeah,
I
the
would
Great
have loved to
Exodus.
tie this card to no intelligent life left on Earth, period. But no, you didn't let me do
Well,
that.
the Great Exodus is a long period.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I put it where I could. It's like, fuck it. If you want to put that flesh of render
Okay,
machines
what
you can
fact
put
is
it on.
Equestria learning?
The one right above it. Just how many things were killed by the event.
Oh, by
that
the
they couldn't
event.
save.
That's sad. All
Yeah.
right. Well,
that's why I sort of mashed those together.
I like
well, let's see. So who gets to add? That would be Batera gets to add a legacy from this period.
Yep.
So what is your legacy going to be? And then immediately add any legacy event you want.
that. Woo. Legacies are fun. I like them.
I did forget that part, so I was not thinking about it.
Well, any card that was played, make it your legacy, and then you could add a legacy that relates to any of the legacies that are currently on the board.
You know what? Also, my name is not Legacy.
I said it was.
I'm gonna go with Sea Ponies in Space.
All right.
Or if I have to be more, do I have to be more specific than that?
No, that's specific enough. And what new card are you going to add? This is one that, if it's a scene, it has to be dictated. It can't be role played.
Yeah. Well, actually, I guess what I'm thinking of is more of a scene. Come to think of it.
Well, add it then. What's the question and what's the answer?
Although I don't know what it would be a scene attached to.
What's
I
the
guess
scene?
Earthkind's first steps from the solar system up front.
Well, tell us what the scene is.
The scene is the sea ponies greeting the first interstellar explorers.
Oh, so that would be like India docks with the International Space Station kind of thing? Like the more primitive nations have finally ascended into space, and so they get there and the sea creatures are already waiting?
Yes.
Okay. That was the only few good minutes of Valerian in the City of a Thousand Planets. That intro scene is the only good part of the movie. You can just leave after that.
Wait, which?
Well,
Wait, which movie are we talking about?
The Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets.
Ah.
The beginning of the movie is super cool, and it makes you think you're going to see a good movie, and then you aren't. So, joke's on you.
Then you're not. Damn.
Yeah, I like the look of it, but looking good does not a movie make. But that's that. Well, let's put this on hold because some of us have a time limit.
I don't know how to put this as a question answer.
Well, tell us what the thing is, and I'll help you. Oh, you mean the first contact?
Yeah.
You could just be like,
Maybe it's just an
what-
event.
Well, it could be a scene like, what is waiting for the first explorers into the solar system? And
That felt
and the
too
answer
obvious.
is a thriving civilization of sea ponies. Like you decide the answer, and so it doesn't matter if it's not like if it wouldn't have been a terribly interesting question to RP because we already know. It doesn't matter because we're not doing that anyway.
I guess no. I don't need to set the scene.
Nope, you don't. You just question and answer. I mean, you can tell us any details about it that you want to share. Like, oh, I think this would have happened, or I think it probably went like this, but you don't have to.
I don't think that the sea ponies were super interested in like expansion, not like this Ascension Initiative stuff. I think they colonized what they needed to and maybe sent out exploratory like science missions. So they're probably not like super branched out in the galaxy, just like some of the nearest stars and stuff.
You know what, though? They have a huge advantage when it comes to exploring, given how much oxygen and hydrogen there is in the solar system, but how limited nitrogen is, and how they don't really need that much of it. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right, that sounds cool.
Oh God, I'm sorry. I'm just picturing this actually being filmed in a Ridley Scott style, where like a pony and an enduring one are on the ship, and they approach this glowing pool, and they just hear from deep within it, "Shooby doo," and then the scene ends.
Ridley Scott's sea pony. All right, good enough.
All right, so VB, do you want to change the focus that you came up with last week, or do you still want to use how does war lead? All right, well, take it away. How does war lead to utopia? I don't see any new cards. Just add them from the library. You can, as long as one of them is inside the other. So you could add a period with a scene inside it, or a scene, or not a scene, a period with an event inside it, or a scene inside it.
There's probably one more rebuilding era after that war, which would probably be the period.
Well, then we could, I mean, okay, I'm going to add it back. I guess I could put the cards on the table and then you could edit them. All
So,
right.
like, the
And
Reconstruction
then, is it a
period or
white event or a dark event? Okay.
You know, I'm sorry. I'm just looking at one of the event cards from last week. The 9 reclaim the dead city of Midgard, and I'm just picturing stuff from the Elder Scrolls right now.
That's actually not an Elder Scrolls reference, believe it or not.
I know it isn't, but I'm just picturing at some point by the 9.
Well, if you
That's
want to add a
probably
card, you can. If you want to add a card to define what, you can make it an Elder Scrolls reference, because right now no one knows what they are.
No, yeah, this thing, I have no idea what they are. I just know it's not an Elder Scrolls reference.
It's actually a reference to a game called Myth the Fallen Lords.
Hmm.
The 9 were pretty much, basically the humans were getting fucked over, and the 9 were the most prestigious people of the human faction, and they were basically the generals.
Ah.
I'm sure that
they do. Yeah.
Yeah, by the way,
just took the architecture.
The only reason I'm on a Stargate kick this week is absolutely because I bought all of the seasons on iTunes and been watching them.
I loved Stargate Atlantis.
I just signed up for that Stargate All Access thing.
Yeah,
Stargate Atlantis was great.
I should have done that, but the seasons were so cheap on iTunes. They were $3 a season.
And as they say, the first thing that Second Life ever constructed was a giant statue of a penis. And the second thing constructed was a Stargate.
Huh. Wait, eternal ones or enduring ones?
Enduring ones.
okay.
They could have changed their names. They might have changed their names to the Eternal ones. They might be that headstrong.
Well, they didn't endure very well.
They didn't.
So, I'm next, and I have a bit of a different interpretation for how does war lead to utopia that also plays into a bit of a different interpretation to who the 9 were who took over the dead city of Midgard.
Fun. Go for
which
it.
is specifically an organization called, with a German name, called Nine Zerfallen, which, to those who don't speak German, eventually just call it 9 because they're idiots. Which is it's a changeling cult that develops as the old changeling empire is collapsing at the end of its war, like internal wars and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a religious cult, and what it does is specifically they believe that changelings themselves are sort of like the divinely favored race because they alone have an intrinsic path to immortality, i.e. just being reborn over and over and over again. And among their other beliefs is that the past was superior to the present, sort of like in the opposite of our current feeling that technology is always advancing. Basically, they think because of entropy, the world is always in a state of decay. Their name roughly translates to no entropy or no decay. And so their mission is to go to these archaeological sites and preserve them and resurrect what's been lost in the ashes. And so the way they're going to be instrumental to utopia later on is their organization is very enduring. It's very good at just surviving through the ages because of its the the enormous age of many of its members. And so they will be instrumental to preserving some of this lost knowledge out of the past and into the future when it's needed. Yeah, and so like they're ruled by a changeling queen because they need at least one in order for their immortality to work. And so every time the changeling queen gets too old and dies, and they're probably like cryogenically frozen because of the whole no decay thing, but also every time they die, a new master of the order has to be chosen to become queen. And also they totally reject like the reformation that allows not to depend on love and stuff, because once you've done that, you can't do this anymore. Only the old changelings can use this path to immortality. No, if they go that way, that queen is going to age and die like. They're no longer a queen if they do that. They're just another changeling.
They're a princess.
Well, not in the pony sense. No, they're not, because that is synonymous with alicorn, which they are not.
They're prince.
No, that's a political appointment which they may receive or may not, depending on their situation. So I am specifically stating that these are the future inheritors of the dead city.
That's fine.
One day down into the future. And also that they're instrumental in whenever there's lost knowledge that needs to be recovered, you can go to Nines Are Fallen and they'll probably have it. But you have to pay in love to get it, because they need love to survive. Okay, that's my turn, though.
Where did you put that, by the way?
Oh, yeah, they formed as part of the Changeling Empire. Like, one of the queens loyal to the Empress was basically like the Empress herself probably had a hand in creating it, and maybe
okay, that's Nines Are Fallen, but that is not the 9, dude.
That's their.
There can also be more than one 9, and I can actually still screw with that. Okay.
Well, the Nines Are Fallen is the 9 I'm referring to with Midgard.
All right.
Nines Are Fallen.
Ooh,
the future inheritors of Midgard.
Okay, I got it. I know what I'm doing.
Now, and they have sort of a dark past too, because they were created by the Empress, and so it's sort of like the Thule Society, if you know anything about that, where like they have ties to Nazis and stuff, and they still exist, and they try to kind of not talk about that.
What did you do to that poor circle?
Yeah. Also, they have a really stretched circle, so that's fun.
This will be fun.
Okay.
It's almost like they have a very small group of individuals that they trust. I can work with that.
Yeah, I mean, they can. Besides what I've explained, they could be whatever people want them to be. Okay, but that's my turn over. Who's next?
Joe.
You, Lifeox, you're next.
Let's see. Construction of a building.
Yeah, how does war lead to utopia? Somehow.
Oh, I know what I'm putting.
Light event over in rebuilding and reconstruction.
Rebuilding and reconstruction, all right. Is it before or after not needing the enduring ones anymore?
Probably. Does that really even matter? Ow! I'm okay.
What the heck?
I'm okay.
Did a car just fall on you out of your closet?
No, fucking floor slippery and my chair wheels decided they want to go under me instead of like, or the side of me instead of under me, I guess. Oh. Oh.
Well, once Live Fox recovers.
Okay. Celestia, I can't pronounce that though. Celestia.
Australia.
Australia? There we go.
Australia.
Look, we don't actually have to go with that name. Like,
I'm going with it. It's
a dumb
good enough.
canon name for a place in Equestria, or in the equestrian world.
I don't have a better name. I'm going to be honest.
Let's not waste time coming up with
exactly.
Like, we can always give it a better name post-game.
Probably somebody else's name for it, and mine never stuck. Anyways.
What happens to Australia?
Starts to rebuild after war. We're retaking over the continent of Australia.
All right. That seems pretty straightforward. But Terra's next.
Yep, I know what I'm doing. Ooh, I wonder if it's technically a dark event?
Well, we need more dark events, so you might just want to make it dark just so there's more dark events on the board. Well, you made a rebuilding focus. You could have made it like what atrocities are committed or something. Well, it would have to be like a good group losing power. If it was like Al-Qaeda is wiped out, that wouldn't be a dark event. Unless you're in Al-Qaeda, then maybe it is. But no one at this table is, so.
Well, I like how Equestria coming back into contact with Earth always happens after a bad thing now.
So what makes this event dark? Oh, there's a but. Okay.
Yeah, Equestria comes back into contact with Earth after American Idol starts up again.
Might have to do that again later. That might have to be thrown out. We'll see.
I don't know how to best phrase it. Basically, because they blame him for... Well, they blame him for Charybdis. And they're not so thrilled after the last time they tried to help from a magical disaster. Actually, I'm just going to say relationships are cold, but relations are cold, and I've given you my description of the bigger picture.
All right.
By the way, just so you don't get any ideas, Star, just because the same way you identified who Nine Zelfin are, Celestia is controlled by 9 individuals who still call themselves the 9. And say anyone who asks them, isn't that what that organization's name is? They will respond with, "We had it first."
Well, Nines or Holland was never supposed to be an English language translation of the number 9.
It's like Dutch and Holland. It's like how German should have been Dutch, but people got confused.
That said, I will also probably state if these people are willing to trade, they would get along with us immensely.
Oh, well, the Nines or Holland are only interested in preserving relics and stuff, so they don't have ideological barriers, which is sort
Beautiful.
which would include trade with anyone as long as they're willing to give love in exchange for knowledge. So,
yeah, no, me and them would get along famously.
Well, who's next? Larsis is next.
Oh boy.
And be thinking about your final event, Phoebe, while Larsis goes. Or your final anything. It doesn't have to be an event. It has to be tied to your focus. No, that's the legacy round.
I'm muted.
You're ending this round. The person who starts the round also ends the round.
Yep.
Wait, the last
no,
one can be two nested things as well?
No, the last one is you only get one card at the end, so you get 3
That's not what the
things.
overview of play says.
I just said that.
Okay.
Legacy round, it won't be you, it will be... Yeah, it will be Larsis who gets a legacy turn, not you. You'll get a legacy turn on my round.
Oh boy.
So, what's your event, or what's your thing, Larsis, whatever it is?
I'm actually debating between an event and interaction thing, but I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with a light event.
Okay.
Why do I have to double click so many times?
Because this interface is not great.
Lucid Chart, your API needs work. Oh yeah, that's right. We're going to be recording this on YouTube. So that's right, folks. If you need to plan out your things, log on to lucidchart.com today.
But only if you have an EDU account or want to pay money.
Or
Yeah, exactly.
or your things that you want to plan have less than 60 items. And yes. I mean, like, a box is one item, the text inside it is another item. Like, they really nickel and dime you.
Oh, Jesus. Wow. So basically, I'm just going to say that...
What's your legacy, by the way? I was around for it.
Oh, we have... Bitera's legacy was Sea Ponies in Space.
No, Larsis's
doesn't have one yet.
Oh, okay.
We haven't got that far. We're waiting on Larsis's event.
Oh, okay.
So basically, just I'm just wording this. Give me 1 second. Basically, all this time, people have been coming back as ponies, regardless, right?
Or the other races, yeah, and they come back more and more each year.
Yeah. So basically, I was going to say,
oh no! Oh, good.
What?
Okay, I thought you were going to type something else.
An especially large group of dogs.
I thought you were going to say an especially large Pegasus arrives to become an alicorn. So.
Yes! Do it! Do it!
No.
That already happened.
No, it's not on the time. Well, it's before the timeline, so I don't know.
Before the timeline. Also, it's established PaP canon, which we've determined doesn't need to go on the timeline.
It's not established PaP canon. It's not
written.
In the main
it's
story.
a completed story.
It's not in the main story, though. I can reject it if it's not in the main story.
That story isn't complete.
It is not complete.
What is the term that I'm thinking of here?
I specifically dictated what the requirements would be for them to add an alicorn to the setting, and they did not meet those requirements.
Is it returnee? Is returnee the term you're thinking of?
Nope, that's because that's not a word. You're thinking refugee.
Yeah. No. No. I'm thinking of basically, what would you classify engineers, Nobel Prize winners, diplomats, that sort of thing as?
Like
scholars.
Like great thinkers.
Great people.
Yeah, great thinkers. Thank you. We'll use a civ term here.
The bus of Nobel laureates.
Are they going to be sacrificed?
Well, actually, what date? Hold up. What date did the event happen again?
2015.
What date?
May 23rd, 2015. At
3:15 a.m. Pacific time.
Yeah.
3:14.
3:14 a.m. Pacific time.
Hold up. I'm looking this up real fast. I just want to see where they were. Wow, apparently the Nobel Committee was in session. So
were they in session on a plane?
We'll just pretend that's the case for the.
Well, They were all equally prepared because they were so good.
Well, we don't know when this is necessarily. Maybe they were all equally unprepared.
This is quite far into the setting. Well, this event might be them coming back at the same time. I don't know how Larsis is wording it, because the updates are taking a while to propagate. There it is. It all appeared.
Woo!
All right. So, are you thinking like a plane full of like Obama's on Air Force One and it just shows up with all these people, or like something like that is happening, or?
I can just see them being in the same building at the same time, and they all just appear back there.
Well, presumably, well, I guess not necessarily, but like, wouldn't a lot of these people know about the event?
They might. That's true. They might have intentionally, but no. But they know about the event.
They didn't know about the movement part.
They wouldn't know about the They wouldn't know.
But
about
they
the
also didn't know when
conservation spell at
exactly it
all.
was going to happen.
Yes.
An entire transport headed for HPI gets fucking.
Actually, that's what I was about to
wrote
suggest.
that story
was
already.
that they were all together in sort of a building where they were waiting on the transport.
I wrote the story of an HPI craft on its way back to shelter gets sent forward because it's not in there.
Yeah.
But... Hey, I love the idea of the Princess of... We never had a President Trump in this universe. It's one of the things the event saved us from.
You know, I keep wondering. I'm sorry. I just keep wondering. Some well-known people. What happens when they come back? Like, imagine. Oh God! Imagine Stephen Hawking coming back and not having to be in a wheelchair.
That was in the comment section of PaP.
I would love to have his mind. That would be great.
But the thing is, like, a movie star, celebrity, is less than nothing when they come back, and they think they're something.
Yeah. Whereas, no, I'm talking about just things like, world leaders, great thinkers, that sort of thing.
Yeah, they're not horse famous. Yeah. Well, what's the last card for this era?
Yay!
No.
No.
I think it's like a decade long, maybe 2. So,
woo!
all right. And now, who gets a legacy is... Where's the turn order?
Yeah, there's like a giant trench dug in Africa now.
Larsus gets a legacy.
Woo! Giant trench is dug in... no, I'm kidding.
Well, it has to be something that's on the board.
By the way, Star, just for matters of confusion, change the 9 over in Midgard to that name.
To 9 NEIN?
Sure. I don't...
Yeah, I was going to say, that's the thing, too, is that they could just be called the 9 there because it's as a colloquialism rather than a full name.
Well, it's because I was trying to do something. Star stopped me, and now I'm working with it, but still.
Yep. Well, So you have to pick one of the cards played this round for your legacy. Something you want to see expanded more. Although you don't have to expand it more, you can expand something else.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna go with the Equestria one actually.
Ooh.
Relationships are cool with Equestria. Or
Yeah.
whatever. All right. And what new card are you going to add to do with that, or with anything, any legacy?
I'm gonna add one of these, if it'll let me.
one of the. Hold on. Well, just.
So just really quick, so universally across all nations, relations are cold with Equestria, because that's wild.
There aren't too many nations at this point in the history, I don't think, because of the big war.
I'm gonna move these.
All
over.
of humanity centralizes in one place to fight off.
Yeah.
Charybdis, all of Pony Earth kind.
Yeah, like all of the survivors build this one massive, like, defense fortress, and everywhere else is just desolate.
Where is that? I want to hear where that is. That's cool.
It's in the
bedtime
Sahara.
Stories.
Yeah, it's in bedtime stories.
Neat.
That's what I was referring to with the trench through Africa.
Yeah, they get the furthest from the ocean they can in the middle of a desert to make Charybdis as weak as possible when he attacks it.
Like, you have to take us on at some point.
Yep. And but Charybdis is a Daniken, Charybdis is the emperor.
What's the question?
Even then, though, I doubt every government disbanded. They had to keep their own stuff separate.
Oh yeah, the first part has to be a question.
Well, humanity is.
Well, I mean, the way it's written is it's such a desperate situation that everyone is working together. Like, political divisions don't really exist because anyone who was determined to fight it out on their own has lost, and so only those who, like, many groups did try to fight on their own, and they were all wiped out.
They were all destroyed.
And so only those who work together, and it's not even clear who's leading it or how it's organized, just there's a big fortress in the desert, and that's where the last battle happens.
By the way, I put that last part there as a question inside of the thing there, because it's just like, I don't know. I'm just making this up as I go along right now.
All right, you don't necessarily have to fill in the middle unless you want to.
No, I'm just cleaning it up because because it's getting kind of long. So I got to dictate this because we don't play it out, right?
Correct.
Yeah, you could just describe it in a couple of sentences how it happens.
Basically, they're not going to explicitly turn down aid, but they're not exactly going to open new doors either. It's everyone is left sort of neutral by the end of the whole thing.
Ooh, this will be fun. Is this dictated?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks. I wanted that scene to be played out.
Well, you can make a scene for that later on. It's a legacy, so.
Oh, fuck yes, I will.
They slow the pace of the game. I like that they're.
We're real bad at impromptu role playing.
Oh no, I love. What are you talking about?
Fine.
See,
I guess I'm just speaking
love
for myself.
Too, but
it's
but
hard
I also
to
want them to be rare because they are slow.
jump into a random character.
Yeah, but that's one of the instances I would love to do something.
You pick the character though. It can be someone who you know will be for you.
It's still hard coming up with it. Did you just say there's a group called the 8 because there's a group called the 9?
That would be hilarious.
Well, Charybdis is dead, so I mean, people don't like him, but it's sort of like Hitler.
Yeah.
Discord will probably show up though.
Discord's already on Earth.
Yeah, no, that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Discord
show up
operates
at that
the Discord operates the last Baskin Robbins on Earth.
I guess theoretically,
Yeah! I would go there. It's a great place.
No, he also runs the last Hollywood Video.
I'll be right back.
Okay, so I really like the idea of.
Imagine him running the last Denny's. You end up there after a long, long night.
I feel like so it's my turn now. Starting a new round. I'm the new focus. I really like.
There's
I
no
think
real way to go to that Denny's.
I think we've struck some gold here with the interactions of Equestria. So I'm going to make that our focus. The question is the focus is just going to be how does equestrian influence affect the
reconstruction.
Affect Earth during the return of. So this specifically limits us to when humans are still coming back. So post 10,000 years, that I'm not as interested in. So it's very broad otherwise. Yes, the endpoint for human returns is the utopia age.
Woo!
But it could be the end of the utopia age, because utopia starts at like 8,000 years and it just goes on.
Someone could theoretically add that event for this focus.
Yes. But for the sake of, like, right now, the last human comes back sometime before the end of utopia. It's just implied that it's there if no one adds it. But I'm not going to add it. Let's see, when is the cold relationships? Okay, that's during the rebuilding. So I'm going to add a scene and then, or a. I'm going to add an event and then a scene. Oh, that didn't work.
If we're gonna play a scene, I'll be back in a minute, but just so you know.
Okay, so we probably will play the scene because I don't know what happened. I think it's going to be a cool idea. So the event, this event is terrible catastrophe drives many desperate refugees from Equestria to Earth.
Holy shit.
Ooh.
And then the scene is going to ask that question. The question is, what happened in Equestria that none of the refugees have the strength to tell? No, this is a played scene. Well, I am going to explicitly refuse any named character in FIM. So no named FIM characters are permitted, with the exception of Discord, who I will not exclude. So anyone besides Discord is excluded from this scene. Who's from Equestria. Except also Equestrians who moved to Earth, which I think the only one still alive is Shimmer. She's the only other Equestrian I'll permit in this scene. I'm not requiring her, though. I am going to require a... Let's see. So this is let's actually take a step back. This scene takes place on in the capital city of, let's see, this is Utopia, right? Okay. So in the capital, the glorious capital city of whatever the countries on the American continent, I'm going to call it
United
New Alexandria.
States?
What's the? I wonder if there are any names. Let's see. We'll call it Affelheim. Will be the name of this place.
Sorry, why are we going with Germanic names for everything now?
Affelheim, maybe Germanic culture dominated post-war.
Fair.
Affelheim, capital. It takes place in the capital city. They've made a massive transdimensional gate complex, and it's not often used because basically it was built on a huge government initiative because it's utopia and they have tons of money. And so it's sort of like 1950s and 60s where they just like, hey, might as well spend it on NASA, only sans Soviet Union because they're not at war with anyone. So they build this massive thing for exploring, and turns out the only universe they can reach is Equestria, and relations are still cool. And so it ends up not really going anywhere. And so it's basically like mothballed. They just keep the equipment running. And so Affelheim, it takes place in Affelheim. I'm requiring Affelheim's night janitor, who was there sort of like, this is utopia, and so this guy actually like maintains the whole building with like a fleet of robots or something. And whether what species and what this person is up to whoever plays them.
Lars just has to play that.
They're the Night Man.
Lars just has to play that.
Oh God!
I can't imagine anyone in this chat but Lars playing that.
So I'm requiring the Night Man, and I'm also requiring at least one refugee from Equestria for somewhat obvious reasons. Other than that, anything goes. So let's see who gets. The person who gets to pick first, or who must. Oh, it's VB. VB gets to go first.
Oh, it's reverse order. That's right.
Okay. So you're the one who helped them flee. Yeah. Oh, and this is probably only the first wave. There's probably a lot more refugees. Only 10 people made it out. This is just the beginning of it. But, okay. Next is Larsis. Who are you playing?
I'm gonna play the night janitor.
Okay. Just remember,
Yes.
you actually run the whole facility. You're not really a guy with... Yeah, you're just that you're there to maintain it and make sure that it's in working condition if they ever want to do exploration like this again.
God, by the way, just so you know that you're making this way too easy for me to dive in like Richard Dean Anderson on this, by the way.
Well, I should have required Richard Dean Anderson then.
Well, I'm gonna play him like Richard Dean Anderson. He's not actually gonna be Richard Dean Anderson, but
All right, Kirby, you're next. Who are you? Keep in mind, you can be the background. You could be no one, or you could be time, because you're not. There's still one required character left, but you're not last, so you could be no one or time. But if you're time, you have to figure out what that is.
Your Only Time, a song by Anya.
Are you here? Batera has muted himself. I think he might be gone.
There we go.
He got up. He even said he was getting up.
Are you
but I forgot to say when I came back.
Okay, so who are you?
I guess I'll be a refugee.
End of each leg. No matter what
the hell's
issue,
Apple doing in
come
here?
from wherever you please.
Playing music, apparently.
I
Do I have the power to? No, I do not. Damn.
I skipped the song, so we're good. Hey, this is your fault, Larsis.
Sorry, I gotta mute you, Apple, because in order to get into correct mindsets for characters, I do need music.
Hey, you don't want to listen to Enya's Only Time?
No, because that wouldn't fit the character at all.
Okay, so who are you, Batera? Wait a minute. Oh yeah, Artifice is next. Okay. Who are you?
Guess I'll be a refugee.
You don't have to. Okay, you're a refugee. Who is that refugee?
Night Guard, the Night Guard.
Beautiful name.
I don't. That sounds very Adventure Time. Yeah, that sounds very Princess Bubblegum and the Banana Guards.
All right. Well, who are beyond that? If there's anything. If not, if you're just a night guard, then that's fine, I guess.
Yeah, just the Bat Pony Night Guard. That's sort of. I know, like, he's playing the technician, but I'm like the guard supervising the evacuation.
All right. Light Fox, who are you?
You asked me that like I have a choice. Discord.
Okay. Now, I believe there's one other person who is required. Oh no, we have refugees and we have the night guard. No one is required from me. I am going to play.
Sunset Shimmer.
Fine, I'll play Sunset Shimmer.
You don't actually have to be. I wasn't being serious.
You suggested it. I think I will be Sunset Shimmer, but I don't think she's going to be there until. So, setting the scene here, which I will not be. The dimensional gate opens, and a bunch of refugees come through, including these few. Although I doubt Discord is a refugee, but be that as it may. They come through, and it's the middle of the night, and the night guard, the night man, the night janitor is doing whatever things he does or she does, or whoever they are, whatever they do at night. And suddenly the gate activates from the other side, and a bunch of people just start pouring in, like constantly, as though they're urgently running from something. So
I'm in charge of the facility. Carter, what the hell's going on down there?
You're the only person here, unless you name the robots.
Unless you're I immediately add a secondary character for the maintenance AI, who is named Carter now for some reason. Who runs all the mops and boats or not boats. That's a different RP.
She runs all the carts. So.
And she says that the gate has been opened, and that at least 100 discrete entities have entered, and more constantly pouring in, and
all right,
no
ponies.
arrivals were scheduled.
Keep moving forward. Get out of the way. There's more ponies behind you.
Long distance. Okay, I'm gonna accept the charges. Yes, you're coming through just clear. I am Olo, Hans Olo.
Yes.
Brilliant.
Excellent.
Roll fast talk.
Okay. Where are they from? That we might want to start there. Okay, that's useful information. They look, sort of in a tizzy. Can you explain why? Define bad. Okay, that sounds like bad. I'm just gonna go ahead and make a call here to someone who can deal with the politicalness of this whole thing. I'm gonna start opening doors, and can you tell them to follow the green lights so they can clear the the gate room?
I need a beer back.
No. You're saying process. That's putting stuff on me. I'm not gonna do that. They're just following the green lights until someone else can deal with this.
Are you going to call someone else?
Yes. I'm gonna call someone else, but I'm guessing that Discord's probably gonna not let that get through, right?
Discord hasn't done anything. What is Discord doing?
Exactly.
Well,
Apparently nothing. Okay.
Discord may be self-muted or something. Well, in the meantime, I will retroactively decide that Sunset is in fact the official government representative for relations with Equestria. So that's her reason for showing up later if she ever gets called.
Okay. Actually, that's what I'll do. That's who the call's supposed to go through to is Sunset Shimmer.
Okay, so she answers and says that it appears your message is coming from the gating facility. What's going on?
Yeah, Shim Sham. We have a interesting thing going on down here.
Shit.
Please don't call me that. What are you talking about?
That's a fantastic name, though.
The gate's open. Ponies are pouring through. Apparently, something bad's going on in Equestria.
All right. Before you even can say anything else, there's like a flash of light and standing behind you. Although it's now like the utopian future, and so she's probably got like implants grafted to her now, and like.
So, is this a separate room from the gate room?
Yeah,
I think it's the control room.
Yeah, this is sort of this is the control room that overlooks the gate room.
Is it in sight?
No, it's in sight. It's got windows. It's also got a blast shield that's currently retracted because there's no need for it.
So it's Stargate.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Like I said, I'm this character is not Richard Dean Anderson. I promise.
Woo!
There were just some fans on the engineering team.
Yeah. More shimmering than ever, I see.
So, okay, let's see how would Sunset react to this. So she says, "I've never actually been here before. Could you show me to wherever they are?"
Yeah, I'm putting them in processing room 3 because it's the largest one we have. 2 floors down, just down the hall. Bathrooms are on the left. Can't miss it. It's the one with the big green glowing lights leading to it.
Okay, so Sunset immediately teleports there and takes the janitor with.
What?
Unless the janitor has some means to stop her, because that's how the rules go.
He really doesn't.
So when Sunset shows up, the guard immediately bows, and some of the ponies bow, but not all of them. Most are looking too afraid.
So Sunset walks straight into the crowd, and she says, "Who here is from Equestria who can tell me what's going on?"
Your Majesty, I served in the Royal Canterlot Guards. There's been a terrible disaster. A dark force. It's destroyed cities. It's heading towards Canterlot.
Okay, let's see. What is
How
it?
delightfully vague. The voice seemingly rings out from nowhere, but Sunset can actually pinpoint it a little bit better. It came from just below her chin.
Also, she happens to know Discord, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh well, I'm glad you showed up. Why don't you stop wasting our time? Maybe you can explain what's going on here.
Well, I would love to, Sunset, but being so direct is just boring. a name tag that says Simsham on Sunset's chest is speaking.
Okay, Sunset removes it, and just like doesn't drop it on the ground and just glares at it and says, "It's this guard just told us that people are being killed. I don't think we should be joking about it. Do they need help? Do we need to send an army? What's going on exactly?
Wait, you're the one asking
is
if
there even anything we can do?"
You're the one asking if ponies need help whenever you just said that they're being killed? Of course they need help.
Well, you should probably evacuate as many as you can, but honestly, Sunset, all good things come to an end eventually.
Sunset looks to the janitor and says, we need to be wise with the help we give. Earth itself is living proof of that.
Fair.
Well, there's only
And
so
I'm going to go open up processing room 2 now because this one's getting kind of full. I need to move some boxes out of there.
So let's see.
Basically, basically the way I'm playing this, room 1 should have been the one they went to, but since no one's used the facility, he's just been using it however he feels like up until now. That's where his gaming rig is.
So, in that case, Sunset is going to ask the guard again, since Discord's being unhelpful, and ask, why hasn't Twilight done anything? Why hasn't she stopped it?
That's going to be very difficult. Come on, Sunset, you're a clever one. All good things must come to an end. What is the most goodest thing you could think of in Equestria? A singular entity.
A singular entity? There are a lot of princesses, but...
Cadence? What?
Even the princesses would believe that this entity is more gooder than them.
I guess Harmony itself, but that's an abstraction.
Not quite. As you remember, there is a physical representation of Harmony somewhere in the world. Or were you never privy to such knowledge? They do like to hide
It's
things.
a tree.
She does know.
Now.
Yeah, she does know about it now. Wait, is the Tree of Harmony gone? Was it replaced by the castle? I thought it just created the castle somewhere.
It created the castle.
We've never seen the tree since.
Well, yeah, but by that evidence, the 1980s powers are gone too. Even though, so
I don't know.
as are most minor characters. Well, now it might not exist. So let's see. Back in character. Something destroyed the Tree of Harmony?
Well, it was a tree. They don't live forever. Sunset.
I thought it was a construct.
No, it was a tree.
It was one of the princesses. It was terrible.
Man,
She went dark.
Possibly that.
So I may have just solved the riddle. I'm going to make a proposal that might end the scene if people accept it, which is the Tree of Harmony died unexpectedly or was destroyed somehow. Not just died of old age, because they would have seen that coming and made contingencies. So something destroyed it, and as a result, because Twilight is so intimately connected with it, she became evil and rapidly destroyed Equestria. Not like genocided everyone, but destroyed the country.
Sounds good to me. I wasn't brave enough to say it was specifically Twilight. I did really like the idea of it being like a Nightmare Moon-esque alicorn.
And also, she's super old, and she's lost all her friends, and maybe like Luna has died recently, and she's just like
maybe short of Flurry Heart.
Yeah, Cadence is gone too. Flurry Heart's probably still there, but she's not as powerful. So, do we agree?
I like that my pitch made it. Woo!
Do we agree with my proposal or
Yes.
reject it? Yeah, the Tree of Harmony was destroyed, and Twilight is the one who destroyed Equestria as a result.
And also, Sunset's new name is Shim Sham. She has the name tag to prove it.
I think that's already a nickname floating around the fandom.
It is official now.
Okay, so
I've always been partial to sushi.
I still like Star's reaction to that. Hey, Shim Shim, don't call me that.
Oh no, I ran with that immediately upon you giving it
It's
to
my
me.
turn next? No, it's Light Fox's turn.
Light Fox is next.
Okay.
Let me do one thing and check on my food because that was not going to be able to that.
So
That said, I screwed it up, so overcooking and possibly going for the cover.
And who knows what she does? I
It's
think
not
we're
like a bad
it's
thing.
right.
vague
Well,
on what she does, but
we know
Ross, wait a minute.
Equestria makes contact again later on in the timeline.
well,
Oh,
it,
I'm here by the computer.
It's
Thousands of
probab-
years later.
it's probably just people from Equestria, or like a rebuilt Equestria ruled by different people.
Starlight ascends and defends Equestria.
Starlight's probably been if Starlight hadn't already ascended, she's long.
I'm back.
This is 8,000 years in the future minimum.
Yeah. Did we decide that Luna was actually dead or just hasn't been seen?
I think that she's actually dead. I don't think she died. I think she ascended. I don't think she died. Yeah, because just like Celestia is gone by 6,000 years, and I think Luna goes soon after. She just doesn't want to be without her sister, and so she doesn't stick around anymore.
That was fun.
So Tree of Harmony is destroyed. Twilight Sparkle starts listening to Linkin Park and letting her mom cut her hair. Got it.
Yeah. All right.
Her mom already cuts
So
her hair.
Light Fox, what are you adding? You're next.
Oh man, what can I add to that?
I know what I'm adding. I might have already given it away, but
Well, think about it. You've got you're last, so you've got the longest to think about.
Whew. Okay, underneath that sequence, Twilight Sparkle successfully blocked from entering Earth.
How about we rephrase it in a cooler way? Like Twilight Sparkle attempts to bring the war to Earth and reclaim the refugees and is defeated.
Sure, go with that. I just don't want
Wait, I
her...
broke the rules. Oops, sorry.
maybe not defeated, but like pushed back or
Yeah, I just mean that she loses the battle. I don't mean that she's
right.
like,
But defeated
captured.
could imply that she was destroyed.
Banished.
Thwarted is the
Let's go with banished.
What's
Midnight
Twilight-
Sparkle.
Midnight Sparkle?
Midnight
That's from Legend of Everfree.
Yeah.
That is her rebellious phase name.
Yeah.
Nice.
You know, when she starts listening to old Korn albums and thinks that she's edgy.
Nice.
But it's her Dark Alicorn name,
Yeah.
even if it is from Equestria Girls.
Yeah, I don't want her here because that's a problem.
Yeah.
That's a category
I feel
6
like
problem.
We were all kind of thinking that she wasn't going to make it to Earth, but
But
Well,
now
I
it's
needed
official.
to prevent it
Yeah,
until
yeah.
unless somebody decides that it wasn't official, and she made it, and thus created problems.
Well, I might have, but
I know you well, Star.
I can't now. She's prevented.
Yes.
Yay!
It's Batera's turn. Hey, my job is to create chaos in this world. I am Discord for PaP.
There you go. I have a picture of Starscrab
No,
right now.
I'm Discord. You're
so
ruined.
this is like 8,000 years.
It doesn't say buy my book though.
Fair.
It needs to say that in like really small print.
You see, I'm Discord. You're ruined because you're inevitable. I just have fun.
Well, what's Batera heading and where? I guess we know where it isn't, and that's past this.
What do I want to do?
You're gonna put a card down, and then I'm.
To be fair, I just said that they failed. You could still bring them.
Yeah, but that'd be kind of like against the spirit of the cards. I wouldn't defy the spirit of the cards.
The heart of the cards. Gotta believe in it, dude.
I don't know if you believe in that defying the spirit of it because you defied one of my card spirits already.
But
Man,
you
this
were
is some
trying
utopia.
to add you were adding the achievements of a group that didn't exist. So it was my
I
duty.
saw a opportunity to grab something before my next focus came up. So yeah, I kind of did.
It was my duty to
You
twist
put
it.
your cart before your own horse.
Yeah,
And so
I did.
someone else
And
put
they,
their
and
horse onto
they
your
violated the spirit of something. So I'm just saying, you are more than capable of doing it, Star.
Hey, but only when you try to claim what.
Hey, you took it back, and then I worked with it because you just gave me an ally.
Hey, they're not mine. The universe is mine. I own it. I don't care. I don't care who does it. I just want it to be cool, and I don't want one group just getting all the cool stuff. I want to spread out.
We got very few cool stuff. I think the person you need to worry about at that point is Alex. They get all the cool stuff.
She's a background character. What's your event? We're holding this up.
Boy, oh boy.
I was
Well,
interrupting the person that was doing it.
Might as well go with the most famous alicorn that isn't an alicorn. Princess Skyla.
Ooh. Skyla doesn't even fucking exist. Well, now she does, but that's besides the point.
So this isn't a canon character, right?
No,
Correct.
Skyla's never been seen in the show.
I wanted to use a canon character, but like that far into the future, it just didn't seem.
No, it
Worth
wouldn't make
it?
sense. That's what I wouldn't want you, because I wouldn't want like all of the cool people from this one generation became alicorns and then like never again.
Well, see, I was gonna do Flurry Heart, but then I was like, she's probably pretty old at this point.
Skyla's actually Flurry Heart's kid. Dun dun dun! I know, I could read your mind. It's cool.
There,
Yeah,
I'm
but-
glad the image got fixed.
Can read a
Accompanies
lot.
the refugees.
A book that you can buy, but yeah.
Like she's
You should have her do something. Oh no, I can't. No. I'm shutting up. You have her do what you want. You do what you wanted to. Is that what your card says?
Well, I mean, she's probably going to be the one that these ponies look to for leadership.
All right.
Because, like, I mean, the idea is, like, they sent their youngest princess along with the refugees to save her from Midnight Sparkle.
I wonder if she's the one that Twilight came to reclaim. He's like, no, you can't. That's some of my. You can't take my power away. But that's beside the point. It's your turn, VB. So you get to add what you want to add. We haven't established anything, so it can be whatever you want.
That's a lot of influence. I mean, to be fair, as if I was in that lobby or anybody from the lecture was, we would point out we got nothing better to do.
Now, I know I'm not necessarily supposed to give suggestions, but would that be better in the Great Exodus era?
So she takes all the refugees off Earth and they go back to Equestria?
Her nation.
There is a card. It's at the very bottom
Shit, that'd be fun. Need help.
of the Utopia period.
So presumably that's right after Equestria reconnects with Earth.
Yep, that's right. That's basically a golden age right there.
Do you see one over VB? I just put it over your legacy. You
Maybe
might want to
refresh
refresh the page then,
You might
because
wanna
everyone else can
refresh.
see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see it just fine.
See it? It's moving around. You may want to use another browser. Everyone else is having no problem with this thing.
I
I'm using
recommend
Chrome.
Waterfox.
I'm using Chrome.
Waterfox. Use it. It's great.
It looks like you have it selected.
Okay.
Put it where you want to put it. It's your card.
Let them tech up. Let them tech up. Bring them over to the Great Exodus. We'll help them. We'll make them stronger.
See, I think it would be cool if it took them. So
Yeah.
there was like a long period of darkness in Equestria. It could go anywhere in the Great Exodus.
Yeah, but there's already a point where Equestria reconnects with Earth, so it seems
Yeah, I guess it would want to be before that. Like
Right.
maybe towards the beginning of the Great Exodus period. You just move all these cards down.
The question naturally reconnects to Earth. The fact about the yes, and then they come to do it to us as well. No, it's still a natural connection that happens.
I guess the implication now is it's not that Equestria is passing by again, it's that the gates to Equestria are reopened.
Woo! That was a fantastic idea, by the way, Star. Bravo.
Thank you. I've been saving it.
You gave me the opportunity to play Discord. I'll take it.
Okay, well, I get the last card of the era, and I'm going to use my terrible powers.
Use them.
No, you do get a. I'll explain how legacies work in a second. There is a change now that we all have them. But first, I'm going to play my card. And that is. No, let's see. I've already added evils from Equestria rampaging in Earth. That's like the whole plot of this universe. So I don't need that. I will add a light event. Actually, yeah, I'm going to make it a light dictated scene instead. And say...
Another scene.
And it's going to go under 9's. And it's going to be, where does 9 get the strength to survive in a world bent on destroying them?
You really screwed up that baking pan. But we'll
And
see.
the answer is using forbidden magic
Ooh, this is good.
given
shit right here.
by the Empress.
Where the fuck is this at?
This is during the Changeling Empire.
Okay.
Using forbidden magic given by the Empress.
Forbidden equestrian magic, I assume.
Her whatever her name is. Oh, we'll get to the Equestria.
Okay.
This line. Given by the Empress changelings make contact with their kin in Equestria and receive and all surviving equestrian changelings are convinced to their way of life, fleeing Equestria forever and joining 9. So this explicitly excludes the colorful ones who have sort of already rejected the changeling way. But the 9 embrace the changeling way of life and reject the color bugs as sort of like the part of the inevitable decay because they've lost their path to immortality. But these ones preserve all the advantages, and they apparently, early on in their history, a influx of new members from Equestria.
Man, there's a lot more contact with Equestria in this world than I thought there'd be.
And that's the end of my era, so now there's a legacy. So how that works is you can choose to throw out the Purifier's return to power and take a legacy from this turn. And if you do that, then something else happens that I'll explain, but if you don't, it's fine. Or just play a legacy from any of the existing ones.
No, something else happens first.
There's something else that someone can take.
Yeah, so if someone wants Purifiers instead of their legacy, they can immediately themselves.
Fascinating.
So you get to choose a new legacy from this round if you or add a scene to an existing legacy. Yes, you can add a Purifier scene if you want, or era or whatever. Actually, you can't add a period.
You can choose to keep your legacy, and then you can play on any of the existing legacies.
Yeah, it can be on. Yeah, it could be for the Purifier. Any of the other legacies you wanted. They're all fair game. This is, what is it? Light event. Okay. Wow. All right. So this we've got to move the battlefield card then. And probably the 9 as well. So they're probably not reclaiming the city. Yeah, just leave them where they are. I'll deal with it. All right. So that's my round over. So next in line, who's next?
I'm back.
Okay, well, it's now your turn to choose a focus.
Focus. The lesser name of that place, freaking the 9 and the Dreamscape. All 3 things.
Okay, it can't 3 discrete topics it's supposed to be one thing. So find one thing that describes all of it.
Well, that would just be the country itself then.
Thestralia?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I will never be able to pronounce that, by the way. It's a curse.
Well, can you pronounce Australia?
Yes, Australia.
Can you pronounce Thestral?
I can pronounce it after I hear someone say it. Thestral.
Thestralia.
You can't pronounce Thestral in general is the issue.
No, I can pronounce Thestral, but I can't say Thestralia until I hear someone else say it.
Well, it's Australia, but then put Thess at the beginning.
Yeah.
Well, let's not waste time on that. What are you going to add? Because I would like to finish, and we only have an hour.
An hour.
To have 4 rounds.
I don't know that we're going to finish.
Let's try.
Yeah, but I'd rather not have people rushing.
Well, it would be nice if everyone watched the turn order and had your action ready when the turn started.
Well, to
That's
be fair,
all I
I only
ask.
just heard what the focus is.
Well, start thinking quickly while Lightfox thinks about, or not thinks about, puts his stuff on the table.
I gotta think about it a little bit too. Sorry.
And I'll admit, I don't know anything about Australia, so
Well,
Working on it.
nothing's established at this point, so
Yeah.
except that they eventually get advanced enough to leave.
Yep.
So,
And that they're in Australia. Those are the
Yeah.
two things that you know.
and they were silly enough to name themselves Thestral.
okay.
Although Lightfox will probably establish some things. Also, this timeline is actually starting to look full. I think after round 2, we might actually be.
I'm not sure if we actually need this big gap between Utopia and the Great Exodus.
I like that.
Nah, I don't know why there is one.
I think because you expected more to happen between Utopia and no intelligent life left on Earth.
Well, I mean, Microscope can go as granular as we want, but I do think that after round 2, I think we'll be good. Well, what's Lightfox adding?
Okay. I'm allowed to do an event or in sequence, or I'm allowed to do an entire period. Problem is,
Yeah, you could do a period with an event, or...
Periods are nasty, hard to actually do because they've got to be huge. Okay, you know what? Magic and technology converge to create a great utopia. That's so vague. We didn't break that up into any type of actual freaking major discoveries within it.
Well, I mean, a period in general could be. It doesn't have to be only include Australia. It could just be that whatever things you want to say about Australia would happen in a period that doesn't currently exist.
Yeah, I know. How about magic and technology converge to create a great utopia on Earth, and then because that period's really full, can we add another period after it? The world becomes united underneath a proper the arcane network, as in you're properly connected up again, much like the internet is today. But you could literally be from your house to Japan as a traveling idea. Yeah.
Okay, I'm trying to think of how that. So what makes this different from the period of Utopia? Because that's the big thing that makes it not an event. Because it could just be an event.
Because a magic utopia, magic and technology utopia, magic and technology are both abundant, and the world's at peace, and the void's touch is gone. But we didn't really discuss what major technologies and what major periods that the utopia went under. There would probably be certain discoveries, much like the arcane network, where the whole world became united, where it would be a totally different period. Much like how the industrial age ended with the period right after it, which I forget what it is. I don't think it was the information age, was it? It would just be modern age. And then are we technically in the information age, or is it still just modern? Mm-hmm.
Well, I just called it a second information age under the arcane network. So that's a simple way to describe it, and I assume you want some sort of inside that.
Well, yeah, Theshal's capital city, Enotata, is the hub place of that network. It's the hub. It's the main point of which it started at. Well,
No.
yes.
The internet's a dark place.
This is just a dark circle.
They gave us
They
gave us
spam.
back. They gave us back, YouTube comments.
Okay, I don't know how to spell the
Tumblr.
So instead of Twitter, it was echolocator. That's the name. That's instead of tweets. There's
Yeah, they're E's.
Ease. That's funny. I can actually get you the spelling if you want me to. I have it in my notes.
Also, I wrote New Nights.
Well, what's the name of the place that you're trying to think of?
Oh, it's a note. Like, give me
It's a
minute, I
proper
gotta
noun
go.
that Lightfox gave me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Actually, I have to dig. I do not know how to spell it by heart because I barely know how to spell my own name. Hold on.
Just call it New South Wales.
I'll give it to you. You can actually continue on from there. It's
Okay.
Chris's turn.
Who's next?
my turn.
All right.
Oh, I'm tempted to do it.
Do whatever it is. Do it.
Do it. No
Yeah,
matter how
just
evil it is.
Don't
I
be
care.
tempted. Just do it.
All right.
I welcome being screwed over at this point. I just don't
Australia's over there.
Well, yeah, you couldn't destroy Australia because you know that they were a populated country until the day they disappeared.
It was a joke I made yesterday, but I kind of just want to actually do it.
Do it then. Who cares?
Go for it.
Well, I think this is a good time on it.
Look, if I get screwed over, I get screwed over. It just
Put it
means
on the-
that any drive I would have for writing that far in the future would be dead.
Just put it, whatever it is, put it on the table.
Which might never happen anyway, so who cares?
Put it on the table.
I'm trying to think of if that's the good place for it, or if I want it later in the timeline. No, I think right before they retake Australia makes the most sense. Or does it?
No, they retook it because they've lost it like twice.
Yeah, because everybody lost all their territory in the war with Charybdis.
Yeah, they all had to unite or die. Well, they're like the new inheritors. It wouldn't have been a political entity except of the shared like Jews with their sort of shared cultural identity. Well, put it on. Is it on the board? I don't. Oh, there it is.
I'm still working on it. I'm just trying. Do I want it later?
Well, everyone else, be thinking of your turn so this doesn't. Because you know when you go.
At least I know what I want to do. I'm just trying to figure out
We'll
where the
type
right
it.
place to put it is.
We'll type it first, and then maybe we'll think about it.
Oh man, did I really lose?
All right, this is a joke I made, but
I'll take a look here in a minute. I'm trying to
I'm
get
gonna
the
do
name.
Jackie becomes leader of Australia.
Hey, that's totally welcome.
Hey,
Damn
if
it,
she be-
that was what I was gonna put. Damn it.
really?
But
Yeah.
so
now
if
that has awesome implications because I get to actually fucking write the last event.
and also it right before they retake Australia, that kind of implies that maybe like in the new city post the Thestrals are sort of like an oppressed minority and they rally behind Jackie and they're like, we'll take back land for ourselves. Well, we miss the old days of Thestralia when all the lights were never on at night.
Jackie, the eternally cursed to having to deal with terrible names.
And they're like, we'll help you, but only if we get to call it.
It's like, oh god damn it.
Okay, that's you. Larsis is next.
Jackie becomes the leader of. No, I'm kidding.
Leader
Damn
of
it,
She's
what?
no.
not technically immortal? I don't know.
Damn it! Now I gotta think of another one.
Jackie is not immortal in the sense of like the word means you can't die, but
mhm.
she's ageless.
Yeah, I'm gonna write that.
Hey, Jackie's perfect in all honesty.
She'll be less
Uh.
perfect when I kill Esri.
I suspect that's before this. But
Yeah, I do too. I don't know when she dies.
Is it that fact that Ezri dies is why she finally talks to Artifice again? Is that what it takes?
I don't know. You write that story. I don't know.
I don't know either.
I do want to write the story where Ezri dies, though, so don't write that. It probably is during the global war with Charybdis. I bet they're like both gonna die, and Ezri somehow save Jackie.
I didn't
Oh,
even
that
read
hurts
line,
more.
but whatever.
You made it worse.
Yeah.
How did you make that worse?
Whatever you add, Larsis, just have.
Just what?
Oh, you're deciding where it's going. Okay, I thought you were wondering what you had to do.
Nope.
Yeah, and I'm trying to make it. I want it to sting. I want when Jackie dies, like it did when Cloudy Skies died. That cut me deep when I wrote that chapter.
That hurt, if only because you managed to get it really close to a situation I lived through. Which I don't think is the thing you wanted to cause.
I didn't want to like cause someone like genuine emotional distress.
Yeah.
I wanted to cause like that feeling you have when a character you really like in a book dies.
Yeah, no, mine was more like dredging up really old scars that I had managed to bury.
There we go.
Constructs the first space elevator, speeding their advancement to the. All right.
What? This is now a worldwide space race. We got the sea ponies in Australia.
Well, the sea ponies.
Sea ponies already won.
Mm-hmm.
All right. VB gets to go. All right.
Yes, Australia runs out of Tim Tams for the first time.
What's a Tim Tam?
They're amazing, is what they are.
You know, if you are from Australia.
The answer is: Have you heard of Marmite? If you have, then you know what a Tim Tam. What is it?
Oh yeah, no, that was actually going to be a part of my story.
That could be a scene. Like, what common scapegoat becomes mainstream in the political discourse when someone comes up with something unexpected?
The part that makes that worse is in the second age, they would have been known for actually doing that. So
Man, I wish it wasn't so expensive.
excellent.
All right, so I've given you the blank. I'm not sure if you've already. Yeah, it's under Charybdis, whatever. Charybdis influence grows. I have a blank dark scene, so you can make those changes. While you're typing that in, we'll move on.
Oh, it's these. I've had one of these before. But I didn't remember what the fucking name was. These are good, by the way.
Yeah, they are.
You can dictate it. We already know the answer, so
Yeah.
Yeah, and you basically already dictated it.
Role-played scenes are for stuff like the equestrian one where we didn't have an answer. I had a good idea and I ran with it.
Yeah. Yeah, so while you're typing that out, I'm going to go last, and I think I'm going to be adding a dictated scene as well, because this page needs some more scenes.
I like some of the stuff happening here. It's great.
So this has to do with Australia, the global war with Charybdis. And the question is going to be, why are there refugees from during the last stand?
Wait, what event is that being attached to?
This is going under. It's going to go under Midgard, and what Midgard is rendered lifeless because the answer is Thestralia's army fought beside enduring ones in Midgard, realizing winning any battle against Charybdis, and was destroyed. So why are there so few refugees? Because their army was at the very beginning of the war trying to fight beside the enduring ones.
And to be fair, that does sound like something we would do.
And man, why my circles love to migrate?
They do.
Get back in
Yeah.
that box. You do not belong anywhere else.
Get in there.
All right, so that's my
I like
dictated
that.
scene, and now Lightfox goes last.
Hmm.
Pony?
No, that's not it.
Doing one's Google reference. Okay. Hmm.
Where's your card, Lightfox? Where did you add? I don't see it. Oh, right, you haven't told me. You can't add things. You have to tell me.
What? What magical powers are you putting on me? I can't do any of that.
Yeah, I
Hold on.
forgot. I forgot that it needs to be me, and then I have to add a legacy. So I should be thinking about what my legacy is going to be. Let's see, what are the options?
Let's see. All right. Above the ageless bat pony Jackie. Light card.
What kind of card? An event or a scene?
Event. We'll go with event.
Okay. What's it say? Well, I guess I have to do that.
I'm about to say I can't add that there. In response to prejudice against bat ponies, Jackie joins the leadership of Australia in order to take back the bat ponies' old home.
Isn't that just a summary of the next two cards?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's no reason we can't be explicit about it. Although this does sound more like a scene rather than an event. It
Sure, I
sounds
can
like
word it. I can word it as a dictated scene.
just like put it under
What
the
happens-
useless bat pony Jackie.
Like, why does she become the leader?
Why does Jackie become the sitting leader of a? See, can't say it. Australia. There we go. I'll get it. It was in response to the prejudice against bat ponies. She joined up with the old leaders and wanted to retake back their home.
Not hope. Home. We have to retake our hope, which is kind of depressing sounding. It sounds like one of the next presidential candidate, the next election is going to use that. But we have to retake our hope. It's Obama Part 2.
Oh God.
Hope must be reclaimed.
I hope that if the Democratic Party gets their heads out of their asses, maybe.
Well, hey, there was one article on Salah. That's something. Anyway, this is not related. The Democratic PaP, unless someone. So. Oh right, I'm going now. So I'm gonna keep my legacy as it is, because I don't want a Jackie taking Australia related legacy. And I'm gonna use the Sea Pony legacy as my thing, and I am going to place a dictated white scene under Sea Ponies Dominate the Space Race. I don't know where that is. Oh, there it is. I by accident I put my scene right. Okay, and so this dictated scene, the question is, where? The question is, where and how? No, just where do sea ponies make their new home in space? And the answer is harvesting oxygen and water. Oxygen and hydrogen all over. They build a gigantic ball of water using gravitational containment, making the first ocean. And so it's basically like the most bare bones space station ever. It's a giant temperature regulated ball of water. Yeah, and I've never played any Final Fantasy game, but I will take your word for it. But I just imagine like some sort of crazy spell or technology that holds all of this in surface tension, just a giant ball of water in space. And when you don't like dock with it, you just submerge your ship.
Yeah. I like the idea that this influences all of pony design ships for the rest of.
Yeah, they always have to work underwater, because if you want to dock with any of their stuff, you have to dock underwater.
That's gotta be very inconvenient.
I just wanted a cool, interesting direction. It's the propulsion system that you've got to do different.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to have something to make it move in water.
But it's probably like mostly magic by that point, anyways.
Well, it's Kirby's turn, so give it to us. What's our focus?
Well, so I think there's kind of a focus in PaP in general that we haven't fully covered here.
Okay.
And that's the Immortals of Earth.
So what does that mean specifically?
Alicorns.
So like all of the alicorns and immortals that have ever risen on?
I guess the significant ones. I don't know. If it's too broad, I can.
No, that's fine. I was just getting clarification. Knew it was valid to play. All right. Well,
I didn't super think out where my first move was. I think I wanted.
It's E, no.
Well, I can pronounce Australia, but I can't.
You can't pronounce Inotita. That's funny.
Hey, you sound like you can barely pronounce it. So
Inotita. Yeah, I could say it very easily.
There's tits in your city. What are you adding?
Okay.
I'm going to add.
I suppose that's not a point against it.
Then
Yeah, like what?
An event?
Yeah, no, this in-city slang is Eno.
I'm gonna add events specifically to mess with you.
No.
Yes.
Go ahead. That's the point of this, for people to put unexpected things in PAP.
We've been having a lot of fun with that, actually. I thought that was going to be a problem, and no, it's just entertaining as fuck.
I'm not trying to have an iron grip on PAP here, because otherwise there'd be no point to have this game.
This would be a pointless exercise.
Yeah. No, excuse me. I think Australia should have a communist collective of diamond dogs, so you're gonna have to put Australia somewhere else.
Collective. I'll just destroy
Do I
them.
put it here or do I?
No, because my event says you lose. So there you go. Also, I get to play 6 cards every time anyone does anything.
Oh God.
That would be so pointless.
Oh. Yeah.
That would be like playing Calvin Balls with that.
Is that too much?
Archive dies during the battle with Charybdis. She isn't seen again for over 1,000 years.
And man, Jackie had a really bad year. Like, no wonder they finally.
Well,
said,
I feel like at this point there's only the one really.
That might get tricky to write. I mean, I guess it doesn't.
I guess
say,
I meant the final battle with Charybdis, because she's in the final city.
That people are gonna be fetching pissed if I write that, though.
do it. Piss them off.
Because like I've already been so coy with Alex's reincarnation stuff. Yeah, exactly.
So my only real point, real point is that I don't want her to return until Earth itself has recovered on its own, until there is enough humanity for her to come back.
Okay. Well, but that was for the RP. That's never gonna be something I write. Like if I ever wrote about the Changing Empire, which now it seems bedtime stories doesn't really. It's current. It only gets like occasional updates of things I'm really passionate about or things people ask for on my Patreon. So.
But like, if this is too much.
No, that's fine. I just need to figure out how I'm going to write that, because I did eventually writing the final battle. But who knows? Maybe I never will anymore. Like, honestly, I don't know.
Like, I have a Patreon story that I was going to do a spy flick, but having freaking Jackie finally talk to Artemis sounds tempting.
Well, hey, smaller scale means you're going to see the result of it soon. But that's beside the point. That's fine. That's a good event. Who's next?
Yeah. So I don't think there's a scene to really have there.
No, that's one of the times where I will put my foot down and say, "Let me write the final battle, please."
All right.
Because I know how the final battle goes, and I've already written most of it. So, Larsa, it's your turn. I could just like read it. That'd be our scene.
Do we have Isaac die yet?
Isaac has not died.
We have Isaac disappear from the
He has
spotlight.
managed to survive this entire time.
He's
As somebody with a character who also manages to do that, I'm not allowed to complain.
well. He's one of the 3 like not. He's in the same level as Jackie or Ezri. He's like a human level semi-Alex as far as his magic goes. But he could die tomorrow from a stray bullet. You can if you want,
Yeah.
but just don't. But don't put them in to put them in. Put them in because they did something cool. Well, it's Larsus's turn.
Yeah, it's my turn. So
I like how no one actually put Thestralia events in the information age.
Woo!
yeah, that's true.
I
I'm about
almost
to add
did.
one.
I
I'm about
almost
to
did
add
until I had a
one,
better
so-
idea.
I'm about to add one because Eureka's a thing that I need to make sure.
As long as it's not the TV show. So, Larson.
I loved the first season of that show, and then it went to trash. It became such trash.
I thought it was enjoyable all the way through, if a little weird.
That was the point where I stopped really watching TV. I felt betrayed.
You better not make a white event where Isaac dies.
I especially enjoyed when they worked in the product placement into the story.
I'm not killing him.
Okay, that better be if you're killing Isaac, it better be. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, my problem with it though was the fact that it became like a love story at one point, and I was like, "Fuck this." Now
My problem with it was the science was as accurate as
it was a strange science. Fucking whatever.
when someone's using like genius level technology as a plot point, you have to get your like Dexter's Lab. That was the right approach. Namely, explain nothing.
Explain.
How does it work? He made it work. It's magic as far as it matters. He's smart. He made it work with smart magic. But Jimmy Neutron went the other way of like, I'm gonna like techno babbling it all, and so does Eureka, and it's just like.
The one thing that Eureka did that was real interesting is they had a time travel plot, and they ended up in an alternate timeline. They never returned from that timeline.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I was gonna say they never returned from it, and yet things play out in the following season as if they did, sort of, kind of, but not really.
I don't know about that.
So Isaac's return, what?
Happens.
No, that's not enough of an event.
No, it really isn't.
Isaac returns his headphones.
They're Beats by Dre.
I will stab him myself. First
I don't think you were in that group, but there's a point.
First thing Jackie will have to learn is that those are trash.
Jackie will kill you. She likes her headphones. They're from what
I
makes
will-
them good
so-
isn't their sound. It's that they're from before the event.
Yeah,
I will
was
give
gonna say,
her a pair
so-
of bows.
No, you really won't, because as the only headphone reviewer in the group, you're going to give her a pair of Sennheisers or Grados, okay?
Still better than Beats.
Well, yeah, a fall down a flight of stairs is better than Beats. That's beside the point.
Yeah.
Right.
The best part is that when that session happened, I intentionally picked the first thing.
You clearly did. You did
Actually,
it well.
just so you know, where I position that is not necessarily where it's going to go.
Well, what is it first?
Basically, I was going to say it restabilizes the remaining enduring ones,
Okay.
implying that there was instability to begin with and allowing someone else to play with that idea.
Well, if you put it after Midgard is being destroyed, like anywhere after the destruction of Midgard, and it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Because who knows? They were probably like living in exile. It's interesting because we don't really know to what extent it was destroyed. Like, are they still immortal? Is there still a factory that pumps out new bodies for them when they die? Or did, like, the originals escape the tubes they were in? We just don't know at this point.
Well, they could always be off on the moon. Aren't they on the moon?
I don't know where the
Like, I
originals are.
thought the originals were on the moon.
I think the originals are in, like, all the cities. But they're not, like, in the city itself. They, like, dig a shaft, like, down to geothermal depths, like, near the barrier of the crust, and put them there so that they have, like, eternal energy to run the thing.
Yeah.
So
Something smarter than just in the city.
All right.
That's for damn
let's
sure.
see
So
where that's not necessarily where that's going to be. So I'm just going to put it off kilter here. I'm looking for where the 9 take it over.
The 9 take it over. I
Huh?
love the
Yeah, it's the white event at the very bottom.
Yeah, I just found that. Aren't they mentioned again later though?
Earlier,
Earlier.
they're found. They're on the other card.
Oh yeah, I found them. Okay. So I'm gonna stick them in the rebuilding and reconstruction area. Actually, it would make sense to put it right here, right at the very beginning of all that, considering the card at the very beginning of that.
All right, let me, we can just move all these down. Rebuilding and reconstruction, just select all these and move down for it.
Yep. Yeah, it would make the most sense to put it right at the very beginning of that, so that he basically creates that balance.
All right. Who's next? VB. What do you... Yeah, that wouldn't be good. You
Alex,
could think... You could think of one of any event card on the board that interested you, where something cool happened, and be like, the question could be like, who came in to save the day at the last second? And be like, oh, it was them. An event or a scene? Well, it doesn't have to be played out. You could just dictate it and be like, all right, who stops it from spreading? It's them. Yeah, you have to commit to them surviving to Utopia, so. Well, then pick something way early. Who rules the continent? Who rules? I don't know. Who rules the British Isles with an iron fist of despotism? And it's, I don't know. Well, just describe it as best you can on the scene. So is that a scene that's part of paranoia and distrust, or? Well, there's your scene card. You can think about it. Well, we'll move on while you think about it. Whose turn? Whose round is this?
It's mine.
Okay, and it's Immortals. Okay, it's been so long I don't even remember what my thing was going to be. Let's see how fast I can come up with something. All nations destroyed. Okay, I know what I'll do.
Alex discovers that Discord's restored the town of New Alexandria, Pennsylvania, and runs the beer store.
I'm telling you, no, Discord runs the Denny's.
New Alexandria doesn't have a Denny's.
Yes, it does. It's where you end up after a bender. You don't go to the Denny's, you end up there.
So the question is, what terrible price, just because of time, what terrible price is paid to ensure Jackie survives
Oh, this is where
The-
Esri dies.
initial encounters of the war. And then Esri, content she has fought the good fight, gives her life, mate can escape alive and eventually find. And thus is my contribution.
Damn.
I want to read that story. I also desperately want it to come out.
So Esri pulls a Jadzia. Got it.
Except,
Well, Lightfox, you're next. What do you want to say about the Immortals? Which is funny because the one scene I get to add to this is killing one of them.
so was mine.
That's true, but yours isn't dead. Yours is just like gone for a while.
Well, that's the nature of Archive.
Because she's an immortal in the truest.
The XYZ.
Yeah, I would do that, but Immortals is not incredibly long-lived. Well, there's nothing more poetic than the oldest of all the dragons dying at a battle of Midgard against Cthulhu.
Well, that's probably because the oldest of Earth's dragons at that point, I think, is like not even quite. How long do dragons live? What's
Unknown.
Yeah, because that's like 5,000-ish years, I think.
I think we're essentially calling dragons immortal.
I mean, they sort of are. Yeah, I seem to recall that. Yeah, so, the oldest dragon, especially if it's like the oldest dragon left, that's still possible. That would be a good place to kill it. That would mean that Charybdis killed a lot of Earth's immortals. He like really went through them.
Well, if Australia's army got wiped out at the Battle of Midgard, that means the person who had the most invested in it probably also died, and that would have been White's character, who was the dragon.
Yes, Midgard is in Australia. It's under
Midgard.
Sydney, I think.
This is why Australia probably had really good relations with them.
Mm-hmm. That's why they came to. That's why they fought with
Yeah,
them
they
against Charybdis.
came to their aid.
Mm-hmm.
The Australia answers are.
So I guess that would be my dark event: is that the oldest of all dragons dies at the Battle of Midgard.
All right, well, that's probably a scene, right? When does Earth's oldest dragon, or why did Australia think it could win at the Battle of Midgard or something, and then because the oldest dragon fought beside them.
Because they never lost. They never lost the physical engagement. They had the most powerful dragon at their beck and call.
So I guess the question is, why did they lose?
Charybdis probably showed up himself.
My
Right, but the
goldfish
point is the
was
dragon died.
just-
If we want to say that the dragon died,
Tell White that's how he dies in this story now. I'm given almost unlimited privilege when it comes down to my the characters from United Minds. Especially if
So-
I could do it in the most metal way you can manage, which is being a giant dragon fighting in the Battle of Midgard against Cthulhu. Now,
the Battle of Midgard.
So what if my goldfish was on the side against Charybdis?
Then it would be a different setting.
Hmm.
All right, I've added your card. Probably before the why are there so few refugees.
Mm-hmm.
So right there. All right.
Sure.
Who's next? It's your round. So Batera, give us the last card of the round.
Oh man, I'm debating between two of them. One's more self-serving than the other.
Well, do what you want to do. It's your round. I'm hoping we can have one more round after you, and then that will be it for our game.
Does that mean someone doesn't get to go, or?
We could still go. We could like reconvene for one round, or we could just end it. We'll see how Phoebe feels since he'll be. But go add your thing.
Man. One's a reference to a story I may never write, and the other's a reference to a running gag.
Just put it on whatever it is. Put it on the board.
All right. Well, I'm gonna make your antagonist. I mean, kinda. Or you will be my antagonist at some point. I think I like it better here. No, it should be in the Cryptus Influence Grows thing. I guess I'll just put it in the middle, whatever.
Put it where you want to put it. You have all power.
We'll put it here, I guess.
Drinking tea enables you joyful.
All right, something simple.
All right.
Just an immortal hunter.
Well, Death in Dreams has always been trying to. Wow, this timeline is looking real busy. We just got to add stuff to the information.
So I guess it's whoever's legacy it is now.
That would be Lightfox's legacy.
Oh no, who's Undying? That terrifies me because they're probably after my ass.
They're after a lot of people.
They've probably met with me a few times. I've just gone, no, get out of the dream world, please.
Wait, where did this card appear?
In the second
Kicked out.
page.
Yeah, it's the white event.
Now, specifically unnatural immortals, so like alicorns are safe. But
Yeah. But what about Jackie?
I think I need to reload.
She's
the
like
page.
half
Jackie
natural.
stole immortality from the gods. It doesn't matter that it was given to her, but
Oh well. She's gunning for a lot of people, like the entire enduring ones. But I don't think they really pretend they're in. They.
White dicks it. I knew he would.
Well, what are you gonna add? You get a legacy, Fox. So you could change your legacy to something from this round, or you could add something to any of the existing legacies.
Oh God, what was this? Everything that was added this round.
A bunch of immortals died in scenes.
I like how that's what we decided to do with the mortals is kill them off. Even though I technically killed something.
I mean,
close
it's
to
sort
an
of
immortal.
besides creating an immortal, it's kind of the biggest event.
Yeah, you can. There, two people created them, and people. I think actually, what did Larsis do? I forgot. What was yours?
I had Isaac come back.
Oh, Isaac came back. Okay, so you were the exception.
You killed a bunch of them, and I brought one back Good job, everyone.
All right, so
Yeah, I like that. If Isaac dies, it better not be a white event. It's just no, I'm not. I don't want to kill Isaac.
I'm fine with him dying, but
Oh, I might still try and work in my other idea if it fits with any other lenses.
well,
Foci. That's the
uh,
plural of focus, right?
I don't know. What's your card, Light Fox? We got 15 minutes left.
I'm
basically.
sorry. Where are the other focuses? I don't see them anymore. Oh, they're over here.
They're over here now. Yeah, it can be any of those, or you could change. Honestly, there are so many limited scope things. I'd probably just use one of the existing ones. I don't think I'd change mine if I were you, but
Yeah,
it
no kidding.
doesn't super matter. But
Fuck, I do not know. That round was bad for legacies, and the legacies currently on the table aren't that great either.
there's a lot of there's cool ones though. I think there's cool ones on the table, but it's got to be something. So
Oh man.
Yeah, I knew this focus was going to be a bit smaller scope, despite being about immortals. Yeah, but we're also starting getting at a point where we're sort of packing things in where we can. So sort of a
well, let's let Light Fox go. Let's not talk so that he is on the hot seat.
Ooh. I don't know if I would be allowed to give my artifice that much influence.
What is it? You probably can, but unless it's like Artifice rules the world,
No.
because
I would have just seen a lot, but given it's such a
Artifice takes over Jackie's body via the dream world.
no. At White dying, nightmares would have probably increased throughout the world because Artifice would have just literally stopped doing her self-appointed job for quite a while.
Well, put that there. Why put that? Do you want to? We could just have an event like why are there so many nightmares in a period of utopia or something? Like
not nightmare. Not the period of utopia. It would have been during the Battle of Charybdis.
Well, so
and that's the problem. It would just be drowned out by the fact that that's a very common understanding thing that there are more nightmares than usual.
Yeah.
In the war. So I'm like, that doesn't feel like it would have a good impact.
Yeah, you can't suggest. So, in the interest of time, we should go with it unless you had another idea.
Nah, just go with it. Fuck it.
And which legacy is this in relation to?
In relation to White dying.
That's not one of the legacies. Oh, you're changing your legacy to White dying.
Yes.
Okay.
Which allows me to put an event there, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
It allows you to put in anything that deals with it.
Yeah, no. If there was going to be anything that made Artifice sulk for a while, that would be it.
All right, Midgard is rendered lifeless. This is now changed to death of old at Midgard. All right, and that Larsis, you get to choose the last focus of the night. What is it going to be?
Oh dear. Wait. It's all the way back to me. Awesome.
Yep.
Well, I mean, do we know that we're gonna have VB go again?
Yeah, I was gonna say, is it gonna come back to you in the next 12 minutes? Probably not.
But my point is, if we're gonna have VB go again, then we should probably just call it here because I don't want to be rushing for 10 minutes trying to get a round in.
Yeah.
But if we aren't, then maybe it's worth rushing.
Also, I can go over a little bit.
I'd rather not go over a little bit.
Well,
I'm getting
well,
less than 6 hours of sleep as it
let's let
is.
Phoebe decide whether or not he wants to go again, given the state of how the board will look out after one round, or if we just want to call it.
I've accomplished what I've set out to do.
Yeah, if we met again, I don't think it would be worth meeting again unless we were just 2 rounds. Like, I think we'd
That's what I'm
probably
saying.
go through everyone.
Well, you're the only person who would be losing out.
Yes, so that's why you get to decide. If you want to say, you know what, focus, then we'll meet again. And okay, in that case, Larsis, what's your focus? Let's do this.
We have 10 minutes.
Yeah, let's
We have
make it
10
everyone
minutes?
everyone know what once Larsis gives us our focus, know
gonna
what
say,
you're
I
fetching
don't know.
gonna do.
I can't know until he does it.
Well, yeah, but
I'll
you've
just-
got 3 people to wait through.
I'm gonna go with Equestria's involvement after the war,
Okay.
or just Equestria's involvement, basically.
We've already had Equestria's involvement, so you have to.
Oh shit, we have.
Wasn't that
Yeah,
also
uh,
yours?
I
No,
think that was
no.
mine.
No, I was to say mine was about the Great Exodus.
Yeah, so
Well, shit.
there's a large blank period after the Great Exodus. It could be something to do with how life in space is after they leave Earth. We don't really know. I shouldn't make suggestions, but in the interest of time, I'm going to because it's our last round.
There we go. Basically, after they've been able to create Utopia, what's the world like after that? From then on, there.
Okay.
Because
you're first.
Because while we have a lot of Utopia stuff, we don't have a lot of stuff after that.
You may want to add another era after the Great Exodus. Then I don't know. You get to go and you get to add 2 things. So, or I guess they're called periods, but
yeah. Which is actually what my plan was.
well, you have the power.
Come on, you. This is gonna go on YouTube, so I can't swear like that.
That's a white.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Well, no, but it could be from the perspective, like you could rephrase it as like the rise of extrasolar life.
We
Yeah,
need a
there we
dark
go.
Era, but all right.
Yeah, it could be the black. Well, it's up to Larsis. If he
No, I
wants to
actually,
make
that's the thing is, I was always going to make this a white thing where it's everything's not is not Earth centric anymore. This is after after the umbilical needs to be cut. Yeah, there we go. We'll go with that.
All right, and what's your event, if you have one, which I assume you do? The circle.
Huh?
They never stay in place, dude.
No,
That doesn't
they
matter
don't.
though. Add your event first. We don't.
It's actually crap. How do I remove the focus from the thing? I'm just going to do this because that'll do it.
You double click somewhere else.
I tried that.
Press escape then.
There we go.
Okay, and I assume the war resolve. Does the war resolve with independent, or you get like?
Yeah, it resolves with the colonies remaining independent. So
Alright.
let me just add that to the card so that so everyone has
Okay.
it.
Well, while you're adding that, VB, what are you going to add?
Okay, so this is Equestria's involvement after the.
No, it's something else now. It's the world after Utopia, focusing on space.
Oh, okay.
Are we
Space.
focusing on space?
All right, got it.
All right. Oh, bam. And what is this event? So they've invented faster than light communication. All right. While you're typing that out, I think I'll just. Do you have anything else to say about that?
Oh, I love this song.
I think my computer may have locked up. Oh no, it's back. Okay, so I am going to add a event, and this is going to be a dark event, and it's going to be separation in space prompts wide divisions of prompts division and the galaxy is barely at peace. All right, Lightfox, you're up.
Prisoners Telecom. So information age. Australia provides new ways of getting cargo into space via using the Dreamscape for actual movement and accurately.
Okay,
More efficient teleporter.
I guess that's going to be in the information age.
Yeah, a more efficient teleport. You have to have somebody already on the receiving end, but if you do, you can move a lot of stuff. It's not good for exploration. It's good for the backline.
It's interesting because I think earlier in the setting they built a space elevator, and now they've perfected it so much that they don't even use it.
Yeah. I never built the space elevator. I never wanted one. I don't know.
Well, Australia built a space elevator.
So that was someone else's pet project. There's 7 other people I don't have a say in. So someone did it. And I just kind of groaned about it the entire time.
Bitera?
Yeah.
It's like there are 7 other individuals technically that I have no say over what they do. So it's like,
Dumb reference time.
do it!
Whatever it is you want to do, just do it. You're the one who's on the strictest time limit here.
Yeah.
And there's
light event or a dark event?
There's you, Larsis, then you again.
I'm gonna do a dictated scene.
I think we should probably give VB a last legacy round as well, since we're skipping your round. Just so that you...
Well, VB already got their legacy round.
Well, yeah, but we're not giving him a focus round. Feels fair to put something on the board, and since there wouldn't be a focus, I think it would be more difficult than less if there was no restriction at all. Just like, yeah, add any card you want would probably be harder than add another legacy. At least it would be for me. Actually, maybe not, because this is my setting, but Well, if not, there's space elevators still. Oh, like, just use it, man.
Makes sense, right?
What happened to Jackie only follows the Australia half, letting her essence spread in the void into all universes.
I'm sorry. What now?
Jackie left the universe. She's got a lot of other places to be.
She's in all universes.
She just took the whole place with her then, apparently.
Well,
Wait.
no, she went with Australia, but she didn't go away. This is a bad wolf situation. Okay, bad wolf. If you don't know what that is, we don't have the time to explain it right now. We can explain later. Larsis, you get the last event of this focus. Or last whatever. What's it going to be?
Well, it's going to be a light event. You know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to do this.
Oh, when were the secret
How's that music
technology
coming from?
caches from?
Coming from somewhere.
How do I want to phrase that? That way.
Oh, it's an arcane network thing. And be thinking about your legacy, Batera.
Yep.
The last legacy of all.
I think I know what I'm going to do. Oh, wait.
The last legacy in the universe.
Oh, wait. No, I got a little confused.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, the second
Man,
one.
that would be cool if it still had like the freaking visible laser beams, but I bet it doesn't. Because the arcane network was supposed to be these giant towers that shot beams in between each other.
Do they shoot beams via the space elevator?
Yes,
No.
there we go.
The space elevator was never my idea.
Okay,
It's
the space beams. That'd be really cool. So that if there were these giant beams, so everyone, like, you can go to that space, be just straight up vaporized if you go through its path.
Yeah, we were
I mean,
actually
they're not
joking.
big, but if you get there, man.
Hey, well, while he's doing his legacy thing there, we were joking around about that in Pecos on how to make it so that things flying in front of the dishes that we have out there wouldn't interrupt the beam path. And we said, what if we switch over to laser communications? Wouldn't that make it worse? Not if we use powerful enough lasers. A buzzer just flies in front of the beam and goes, "Phew."
Yeah, that's exactly right. You fly into the arcane network, and Mars doesn't have HBO, and
and you become Gaster.
we ended up deciding that that it actually just cuts the bird in half and just came up with Popil's Bird-O-Matic. It slices, it dices, it knocks their heads clean off.
Well, what's your legacy, Batera?
I'm gonna just keep my legacy, but I'm gonna actually work off of Equestria's relations with Earth. I think it might be a bit of a stretch, but
Well, who cares? Whatever it is, just put it on. You have all the power in Microscope. Although it does bother me that there's a whole period of just light events. Like, that's more of a utopia than period. Although there's only 2 dark events in Utopia.
I could go with my other idea.
I'm doing this just purely as a joke.
I don't know where my other idea would want to go, though. You too. Oh.
Just whatever your idea is, put it down.
All right.
Because you said you didn't want to stay up past 10, and it's past 10. So
Yeah.
put down your idea, and then because VB gets one too. Real Networks makes a comeback. No, it doesn't. I veto that. Yeah, I'll veto that right after I veto Fire.
This is a real network. It just works on a different principle. Dear God.
But Star, buffering.
Yeah, it's still buffering today.
They're still buffering then.
Good enough.
All right, that could have been an event, a scene, the other one, but who cares?
Would have had the same result. Like,
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna allow whatever you call it, legacy. Yeah, normal legacy rules apply. So it could anything to do with the space stuff we just played, or it's on the table now.
Oh man.
Man, I bet this game, like, you get people that really know the rules of this thing. I bet you could play so much of a history.
I love this game now, by the way, Star, and I'm going to introduce it to my friends over in the other chat. And
You
you want to
should.
know how that's going to go.
It would be even better. Like the next time I want to play this game, I want to do it with not an established setting, so that there's truly no rules, because we sort of knew what PaP was going to look like already. But
Yeah.
it would be cool if we didn't. So like, there were some things in here I genuinely think were in PaP, but I would have liked it like taken to the next level. Like a fantasy setting made this way, who knows what you'd see?
Oh, that would be fun. And you know what? I might do it because I have that sounds like fun, and I have a good starting premise to start my own focus on. That's the only thing you're gonna need, really, is what's your first focus gonna be?
Well, you need to know. Also, you need to know what the beginning and that's the only other thing, which
Yeah.
you normally decide as a group. Like this will be the period where history ends, and this is where it begins. Did you add a thing, Phoebe? I don't see it.
the entire galaxy?
See, this is why I would leave. This is boring.
Yeah, see, that's why I left it the way it was. Chaos, and so there's always little guys.
It's like one
At war
hole
with
would
each
make me
other.
try to take my civilization and go somewhere else. That.
Hey,
Well-
Fox, you're the one who put no bad endings.
You're not allowed to have a bad ending. You're allowed to have a bad everything else.
Yeah,
No, they're pointing out the fact I told people not to wipe out civilization completely again. Basically, no more back to starts. It's annoying. We've had too many.
well, the universe has enough of them now.
Huh.
Okay, so it's there's the solar system itself where there's no war.
I'm just
No,
I'm
you're the
deciding
last
to
card.
rewrite mine as a scene instead of a.
If I had another card, since no one else has done anything to explain it, I'd probably play something. Like they decide to make Earth a life preserve or something. Just like leave the biosphere intact.
Well, here's the
But-
thing, Star. You have all the cards now.
Oh, it's true, but well, anyone here could have explained. Now it goes back and explain it. Well, I'm not going to explicitly state during the chapter what. The chapter is going to explicitly show that there's nothing alive on Earth, no intelligent life on Earth anymore. Yes, I am going to post this calendar. Yeah, I actually am going to delete. This is the end thing. The no intelligent life on Earth. I'm going to remove that, so that'll be. People will see that when they see that.
And to all of you on YouTube, just ignore that.
Yeah, you didn't hear. If you watch this, secret. You got.
I
you
mean,
got
how
to
many
see
viewers did we
saucy
get
this
on the
thing.
last game? I watched the first game. I always meant to watch it
Why would
before
I-
the next game to catch up, but
Why would I watch a video for a game that I?
Watch, we'll get like 20,000 views out of nowhere.
Oh, we would have to become a meme for that. I don't know if I want that in my life.
Yeah, I don't know if I want PaP to be a meme. Yeah, a microscope actual play. Although I broke some of the rules of microscope, like establishing so much about the setting beforehand. Because we were using it to expand an existing setting. We weren't using it to create something totally new, which it was originally written to do.
And
I
we would
also think
definitely. Go ahead.
I think there are some rules changes I would make, and I probably will implement if I ever run another game. Namely, I would have a final round. I do two things different. One, I'd have a final round after the last round of play, where it's a legacy round where people can only comment on the legacies, and that's it. So the last word in this universe will always be about people's legacies. And the other thing is, I would like to have the legacies change on a random basis and not based on who went last. The only problem is, how do you make sure everyone gets one? So it'd be like random based on who hasn't. That way you don't always follow the same person's focus.
Mm-hmm.
That would be nice, but it might add to.
I think the fact that you can do anyone's legacy is sort of mitigates that a little bit.
Yeah, that's true. Like, you could make something your legacy and yeah, I think I wouldn't, because that's just too. But I also, and this wouldn't be a problem for us, but I would add a house rule. My second house rule, I guess, would be that you can only have one scene per round that's role played, because otherwise the time it would take to play would be
Did we
ridiculous.
ever not do that?
We never would have violated that rule if it was real. But I could see it being a problem with other groups. Yeah, I would want to make it explicit.
Yeah, we only roleplayed a few scenes.
And I would have honestly wanted to, especially as we got. Like, we did go significantly faster this time than last time.
Yeah.
So,
But I should really get going.
yeah, you
I
should
do have to
leave.
wake up at 6 a.m. tomorrow.
I don't have to leave immediately, but you do, so see ya.